Hello. I don't see anybody online yet. Hello. 13 people are watching. Hi, can you see me? Hi, how are you? If you can see me, say hi in the chat. Hey. Okay, I can see you guys now. So represent where you at? Where you from? I am currently representing Ann Arbor, Michigan. But where are we from? I lived in Detroit for 6 months before I moved to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Some of you might know me. Hey, Montreal, Canada. We are international. Raleigh, Charlotte, NOLA, what's up? Orlando, Sunshine, Austin, Texas. Houston, Texas. Baby, you got anybody from Houston? All right. So it's 5 minutes. Detroit, Michigan, Durham. North Carolina is represented. North Carolina going on a race up. Okay. I quit. Now, the most important question is, what are you all drinking? Chi-Town? What are y'all drinking? It's a 30-second delay, so I'll wait. I'm drinking water. I have Ciroc over there. I'll get it after the break because I need to teach you all. Rum chata. I love it. Simply mixed berry. Yes. Water and aloe vera juice. Namaste. Water. I feel you. I got water too. Okay, cool. Well, I don't want to waste anyone's time. Coffee, you're drinking after the class. Henny, I'm drinking too. Henny, we got a real one in here. Okay, so I don't want to waste anyone's time. I want us to get it moving. So hopefully if you have your slides next to you. Henny, right, that's funny. Hopefully you have your slides next to you. And if possible, another screen. I'm going to start sharing my screen and I'm going to teach from here. So I will go through the steps. And I didn't introduce myself. My name is Maisha Williamson. Hello. You've been getting emails from me or notifications, so you probably know me. If you don't, hi. But I'm going to introduce myself. So I'm going to jump right into the class, okay? So hold on, let me share my screen. Present to everyone. Okay. Okay. I don't see anything. Present to everyone. Usually, it's just easy to self-present. Oh, here we go, screen share. Okay, so now let me know in the chat. Make sure you can see my slides. Okay. Even though I can't see anybody anymore. I can't see the chat. Okay, you missed that email. They were in the confirmation email, but here, I can share with you right now. Okay, there we go. And then let me get you the CSS slides. CSS slides. Okay, so what do we have here? Girls Guide to HTML. Okay, so you can see the slides, and we are going to learn all about HTML today. So welcome to the Girls Guide to HTML from STEM Girl Academy. We're probably going to finish up a little early today. I hope you have a notebook. You can take notes. And your computer, you can code along if possible, okay? So Girls Guide to HTML. So all about STEM Girl Social Network. I don't want to make it bigger because I want you all to see, but okay, so our mission is to help girls and young women overcome their anxiety of STEM by putting them in educational settings for women by women. We believe that women role models will inspire an interest in STEM careers. So I've been doing this since 2015, mostly had girls classes for middle schoolers and high schoolers, but a lot of women started asking for classes. So I started a series called Coding and Cocktails. Most of the time we have them in person, but wanted to reach a larger audience, and we have them online. It's going to be a different format, so hold your horses and get ready for this exciting ride. So meet your instructor, me, and founder. I'm a mechanical engineer and I'm a software engineer. So my passion is to use technology-based solutions to increase gender and socioeconomic diversity in science and technology. So basically, I want more women, I want more Black people, I want more minorities, I want more low-income people to enter technology and science. Because when that happens, we are able to have a diversity of thought and products. The artificial intelligence software that's been coming out has proven to be like racist and sexist and homophobic. And that's because people who are creating it are not diverse. Like if they would have had a Black person on the team, a gay person on the team, or minority, low income person on the team, like these technologies would not come out not catering to these people. So we have a course syllabus. We probably won't get to all the input types today, but we'll set you up on input types. So here's the course syllabus continued. You can access these slides for when you study on your own. And I wanted to make sure you are able to stay to the very end. I have a special free one-on-one learning opportunity for people who stay until the end. Free bonus learning opportunity. So to get started, I need you to create an account with Thimble. And I hope the people who are on here because we are moving. So you need to go to thimble.mozilla.org. Okay. And you need to create an account. I already have an account created, so I can just log in. But go ahead and create an account. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. A minute. Create an account. Mine is being special. And when you finish creating an account, you're going to start a project from scratch. Let me know if you are having trouble creating an account. I'm giving you 1 more minute to create an account, because I know it might be a little bit. And when you create an account and start a project from scratch, it should look like this. Okay, so you can still have some time to create an account, and I'm going to keep moving through the slides, and it'll give you some time to create if you're having trouble. So like I said, create an account, create a username, enter the email, create a password, select start a new project. It should look like this. So what is web development? Please don't read all this. But web development is a broad term for the work involved in developing a website for the internet. So people who build web apps, web applications, databases on that hold information, websites, those are all parts of web development. So it encompasses a lot. What I'm going to talk about in this class is HTML, which is a scripting language for front-end web development. And what front-end web development means is just the part of the website that you see. So we'll get into that more. What is HTML? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, a language for describing web pages using ordinary text. It allows for website creation. So hypertext is the method by which you move around on the web. By clicking on special text called hyperlinks, they bring you to the next page, and we'll get into that more. HTML tags. HTML tags are the hidden keywords within a web page that define how the browser must format and display the content. Most tags have 2 parts, an opening and closing part. For example, HTML is opening and /HTML is closing. If you're not keeping up right now, that's fine. I'm going back and I'm talking about everything. This is just an overview. Tags are the most fundamental building block for HTML. Once you learn how to use these tags, you can basically do anything you want or learn anything you want in HTML. So add metadata. People get tripped up on this. Don't. I'm going to go over it. If you don't get it right now, it's fine. Metadata is data about data. That's literally what it means. So the metadata, which is like all of this stuff in the header on the page, just kind of all this information in here. The metadata defines keywords for search engines. Like, so SEO would be put in the metadata. It defines a description of your web page. So it describes the web page up top in the header. It defined the author of the pages, who made the page. All the information always goes in the meta tags. So why metadata is important? Most of the time, you're going to have multiple developers working on one project. So in the metadata, you might put like what updates were made, who they were made by, what's important descriptions about this information, things like that. So data about data is like describing the web page. So document declaration. The doc type declaration must be the very first thing in your HTML document before the HTML tag. This is not an HTML tag. It just tells the web browser which version of the HTML page is written in. So basically, doc type, the standard format is English. So doc type is basically telling the web browser that you're about to build in HTML English. And so we see that's the first line in our editor, doc type HTML up here. It must be at the top of every page. Okay. Let's make an HTML document. So basically, somewhere in my notes, I have this kind of copied and pasted. So I can just copy and paste it every time I start a new HTML document, because this is the general outline for every HTML document. We have the HTML tag up here, header tag, title, body, HTML. So that's the general outline for a HTML document. I'm going to stop in a second for questions. It looks like that. So in our document, let me go back. In our document, in the head is all the metadata or stuff that does not show up on their web page. Like everything that goes in this head is not going to show up on our web page. It's just information for us or information for the website. Anything in between the body links shows up on the web page. Body is like, I like to think of it as a paper. Head is the header of our paper. It's not really super important. Body is the meat of our paper. Everything up there is the meat of our paper, like the words and things like that. The header is like the date, the time, name, stuff like that. The HTML is just letting the document, again, know is HTML. Everything that's HTML has to be between two HTML tags. You have the HTML tag up top and the HTML tag up bottom. Everything else goes in there. Anything you want to show up on the page has to go in between those body tags. If you don't put in the body tags, it's not going to show up on the page. Any questions? I'm going to stop for questions. And yeah, you're going to see me type out. As you see, I listen to Sarah Jakes all the time. Why they got me looking like that though? Okay, I'll come back for questions. So starting a new paragraph. So how we start a new paragraph is the HTML tag that describes paragraph is the P element. P element defines paragraph. For example, this is a paragraph, this is another paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate that. We have this thing called dummy text we use in web development. So we just like to find like dummy text generators to present stuff. So they have like, what's that? DJ Khaled Ipsum. We call it Lorem Ipsum. That's not in my presentation, but this is cool and it's funny to me. So I found DJ Khaled Lorem Ipsum, and this is what I'm going to use. I want one paragraph, and he generates some dummy text for me. It's a key, and I'm going to copy it. And so I'm going to go in here. The paragraph's already generated. We have the opening P tag and the closing P tag. And I'm just going to Control V, which is copy paste. And then I'm going to take some of this text out because it's a lot. Command X, which is on the Mac. You just copy paste. The paragraph tag, so it's opening, closing paragraph tags, and put more text in there. So we see how this looks. The paragraphs are defined. There's space between two paragraphs. That's how you do a paragraph. If you don't have time to do that right now, that's fine. We will come back. So adding a paragraph. Okay, we already did that. Adding a paragraph. Adding a heading. And this should really be like, I'm just changing this right now so it can make more sense. Okay, so adding a heading. The HTML heading element defines a heading. So the biggest heading is H1. It makes the biggest heading. The smaller heading is H2. Makes a little bit smaller heading. The smallest heading is H3. So I like to think of this as a paper, like I said again. H1 is the most important heading. H2 is the second most important heading. And like H3 is like subheadings. So we can go back and put some headings in here. Welcome to the H1 is already there. The keys to success, since we already have DJ Khaled going on over here. And I'm going to do at H2, and there are many keys to success. And then I'm going to go in between this paragraph here and do a H3, and drinking is not the key to success. Okay, so let's look at the page. Biggest heading, smaller heading, smallest heading, paragraphs. If you have pink come up, it means something is wrong, but usually you can just keep typing and it'll get rid of that error. I'm gonna check for questions. Are you with me? Did you leave me yet? Okay. Just making sure. Okay. So creating a blank space. The HTML element BR creates a blank space. For example, to create a blank space, you can use the tag BR. Okay, so unless we specify the text to, the paragraph is going to, or the sentence is going to fill up the amount of its container. See how, like, depending on how big the container is how far it goes. So say I want it to break at, the key is to enjoy life. Like I want there to be a break there. So I'm just going to put a BR. And now, even though it keeps going on in my editor and my viewer, it breaks at the life part, no matter what. Okay, cool. So break space preview. So that, notice that unless you put a break tag, then the text will keep going. Created a bulleted list. This is where the fun begins. So how to create a bulleted list is that we have to understand some more tags. So the UL tag is the unordered list tag, and the list item tag is the LI tag. So we need to put a UL tag, opening tag, a UL closing tag, and then before each list item, we need an opening LI tag and a closing LI tag. And I will do an example. I'm going to do a grocery list. So mind you, I'm keeping everything above this body tag. I'm making space to put more stuff because I got to be above that closing body tag and below the top body tag. Okay, so I'm going to do H3 grocery list, and I'm going to do UL, which stands for unordered list, and boo. I'm going to do LI. It stands for list item. So I need some apples. What's my next LI? LI. I need some Ciroc. I need some, I'm drinking Ciroc tonight, but since I'm teaching, I can't drink right now. I need some apple. Oh, I said apples. Ice cream. That's enough for the example. And so I just want to line it up. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Boom. List items. Boom. Okay. So we're going to go back to list item. Unordered list means bulleted items. The UL tag lets the computer know you are starting an unordered list. The LI tag lets the computer know that you are starting a list item. You need an LI tag to begin each list item. I said that, but I'm just reading it. Ordered list tag. So ordered list tag, how is different from unordered list tag? Unordered list tags had no numbers. Ordered list tag has numbers. I'm just going to cheat right here and copy. And then I'm going to put this in here. So see the OL tag, list items. So I need $1 million I am going to get it. Yes, I am. Just really random. But we can see how it looks. 1, 2, 3. Boom. So, okay, list items. Ordered list, list items. We're not going to do inserting special characters because no. This takes all day. Adding links. So links are, you know, hyperlinks, links that link to other web pages. So adding the link tag is ahref. So this is the example. You have an A space href equals quotation marks. You put the URL in there, quotation marks, closing bracket. You put the text that you want to show up on the page. Then you put the closing A tag. So for example, you have A space href equals quotation marks. I got http google.com, quotation marks, closing bracket. Here's a link to Google, and then /A. I'm not going to cheat this time. I'm going to copy it out. But you have to have all these things. What most people tend to forget is putting something to press on the page to make it a link. Because if you just put all this and then put a closing A, there's nothing on the web page to show up to click on. So let's do that. A href equals quotation marks. I'm going to put STEM girl. I don't know what it is. STEMgirlacademy.com. Closing bracket. Welcome to my site. Okay. So ahref STEM Girl Academy. Welcome to my site. Let's see what's down there. Welcome to my site. Whatever. Anyway, it worked. Href, welcome to my site. Oh, probably HTTPS. Let's see if it works. HTTP. Yep, it worked. Okay, cool. Cool. Yes, Thimble creates closed tags for you. Most text editors don't. But while you're learning, Thimble is a great tool to initially learn on. You're going to have to step up to big girl editors later, but right now, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna take a break in like half an hour, but we're gonna keep going right now. And thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Spending your Thursday night with me. Okay, so adding links, link preview. Add an image. This is the super fun part. So replace the question mark with a path to the file you are looking for. Excuse me. So we have the image search equals quotation marks, put the path to the file in here, quotation closing. So image search equals image links JPEG, blah, blah. So I am going to type it. So image search equals quotation marks, close. I didn't get an image, so I'm going to go online. I like to go to Pixabay to get free images. There's a lot of free resources to get images. I can send those to you. So let's see. This is pretty cool, and I like waffles. I really like waffles, waffle hearts. Okay. So I'm just going to copy the image address. for now and put it right here. See what happens. Whoa, 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 waffles. And the thing I can do is width equals, and people ask me how do I, this is like 600 pixels, like 600 dots across the screen. I don't really know pixels or anything like that. So I just like make up a number and see if it works. So yep, there we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So image img space src equals quotation marks, the link to the picture, and then close bracket. Yeah, so welcome to my site was the button. I mean, it can be a button, but it wasn't the button. And thank you for asking that question. But you can make it a button. We can talk about that later. But it's just a link to the site. Okay, cool, cool, cool. These are great places to get free images. Well, you have the slides. Okay, so we are moving on to a new part. I'm hot. Let me get a drink. Of this warm water, this warm bougie water I have. Hello. Okay. Input types text. If you are following along with me, you want to do a lot of copying and pasting in this part. So we're going to talk about form elements. We had the body elements, now we have form elements. Form elements are letting the computer know that we're writing things that can take basically input like a form. You know, when you fill a job application online, it's like put your name, birth date, this drop down menu, gender is like circles. So those are what form elements are. They're more interactive. They're not like static on the website. They just don't sit there. You can put some information in them. So what I'm going to do is, I'm trying to think, should I delete this? Let's delete some of it. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I'm going to delete some of it. And I'm going to come down here. Oh, no. It's outside the body tags because we're creating new body tags. So I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to do form. So these are like a form, quote unquote, of body tags. And I'm going to put form, and we're going to put our new tags in between here. So input type text. So this defines normal text input, normal text input. So for example, this is an example of a first name input type. So first name is what I'm going to put in the description. I just put a break so the line could be on the next line. Then I have input type equals quotation marks, text equals name. It's like space. Name equals quotation marks first name. And the placeholder is first name. I'm going to copy this and paste it in there just so you can see what it looks like. So that looks like that right there. We go down here, and I don't know if you see the bottom. Oh, we got an issue because first name. Okay, so we got an issue. Okay, there we go. So we have the first name, which is this up here. I'll put a break so everything was the next line. And then we have the input box for first name. There's a shadow in the box that says first name. And we can like actually input stuff in there. I'm gonna put input your. Okay, so we can see that there. It's like the shadow that comes up at the end. Let me stop for questions. Okay. Do the same with the last name. But that's input type text when you want to have a text input type. Okay, there we go. The next one is input radio button. So we have input type input space type equals quotation marks radio, and I put just name, gender. We don't and we put the value. You don't have to put check next to it. But input space type equals quotation marks radio. Let it know that we're inputting a radio input type. Name equals gender. It's just like the name of. This is more for the back end, which we are not ready at right now. But name equals gender. Value equals male. So when we put it up in here, it's going to look like that. And I'm going to put a BR here. So they go to the next page. See, there's a radio button next to male. Okay. I think it's pretty straightforward. Is this straightforward? Anyone lost? If you're lost, please let me know. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna check in because there's a delay. But if you're lost, please let me know. Drop down list. This is kind of like the list preview item, and we're kind of moving in record time, so that's cool. We're gonna have a break in like 20 minutes so we can decompress and practice. And I'm gonna do a 15-minute break. No, a 10-minute break. So if you're trying to drink, you can like go drink. So we're gonna have the select element defines the drop-down list. So we have like the select name equals cars, whatever it is can be in here, whatever your drop-down list is gonna be. That's not gonna show up. This is just to name it. Your option values are gonna show up. So you have the option value equals Volvo. You gotta put the value in here, but you also have to put something in between the brackets to make sure that shows up on the screen. I'm be lazy and copy, but y'all can copy too, so whatever. And show you what that looks like. Volvo, check mark. So I'm gonna add another one. So like the select name is up top, the close bracket select name. I'm gonna add another one so we can see. We got option value equals Mustang, close brackets, Mustang, and the option value come up. Mustang comes up. Cool. How would you make male smaller? So we're gonna get to sizing stuff. HTML only does content. CSS does size. So we're gonna do, after the break, we're gonna get into how to size and style and color. But right now, we're only doing content. So I like to think of HTML as a skeleton of the website, and CSS is like what makes it pretty. So we got the drop down checkbox. So checkbox, input type checkbox, name equals vehicle. This is terrible. But input type equals checkbox, kind of the same format. Instead of input by text or anything else, we put text box. We put a name, and then we have to put some words in between there. I don't know why this is blue. Copying and pasting again. We have a checkbox. You are there. I have a bike. You can make as many check boxes if you want. Okay. So input date, I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip time. Okay. Maybe I'll do no. Date, no. Date choice. Number selection. Let's do number selection. So we have in quantity, you can put a quantity between like 1 and 5. Say I want to put quantity between 1 and 5. Like that's what I want. We can put input type equals number, and we have to put a min quantity and the max quantity. So I'm just gonna copy and paste that. And I'm sure we've seen that. And we can see that the min and max is 1. I can change it to 555 if I want, maybe, and it can just go on forever. So whatever you want the min and max to be. Input type equals quotation marks number, name equals quantity, min equals 1, max equals 55. Okay. So we have moved through this section really fast. We are done with the HTML section. I'm going to give us a 15-minute break. So if you're on Eastern time, that's 8 o'clock. If you are on Central time, that is 7 o'clock. So go ahead and get some water. I'll stay in and answer questions. And you are on the timer for 15 minutes, okay? So, I mean, I might stay with you for a second, but I'll be here to answer questions. And you can use this break to catch up and play around and look at the slides and look at the videos and code some. I want to turn my light off. So, hey, if you have any questions, I'm here. You can practice. How we doing? When there's no feedback, like I'm like, what's going on? Yay for keeping up. And yes, you can always watch this on YouTube later. I'm going to send the slides in a follow-up email along with the link to this YouTube video so you can check it out. So please check it out. We're going to be done pretty early since you all are keeping up. But I mean, honestly, if you do all the copying and pasting that I did, like in my live classes, I have them like write every single thing out. So it goes a little longer. But yeah, we have 5 minutes left. I'm going to run down to my kitchen, get a snack, and I'll be right back. Okay. So how do I make a separate page on HTML? So I mean, in here, you would just like add a page, add an HTML file. And so now you got HTML index 1 and HTML index 2. So you can link these pages to each other by doing why is ever asking that question? So you can do ahref equals quotation marks index dash 2 .html. This is another page. So you put the address of that there. What to say? Welcome to my site. This is another page. And I'll take you to the other page. What was the other question? You didn't see any of that because I'm not sharing my screen. So let me share my screen. So share screen. Application window. So let me do that one more time. Let me delete it. So let me delete everything. Delete. Okay. So how I would create another file in here is I would just put files, add an HTML file. It gives me index HTML3. I go into the body of this old index HTML file. And at the bottom of the body, I'm putting ahref equals index dash 3 .html close mark. This is another page. I put those in between the carets. So let me see where this is another page. Click that and that links it to the third page. So what's the other question? Popped out the chat. I don't even know where the chat is anymore. Right here. Message retracted. Why? Okay. Okay. I forgot there was another, I thought there was another question. So, all right. We are going to go into our CSS lessons. Done. We're going to be done soon, guys. Hold on with me. Hold on. So, CSS lessons, how to style your HTML. What is CSS? History of CSS. HTML was never intended to contain tags for formatting a web page. HTML was created to describe the content of a web page, like this is a heading, this is a paragraph. When tags like font and color attributes were added to HTML, it started a nightmare for developers. Can you imagine like after every time you wanted to turn something red, if it was a long web page, putting like red after each color or like after each word. So it was just like a lot of stuff in the document. So instead of putting all that stuff for each style rule that you wanted in the HTML, they created CSS so you can have another document to put the style information in. So never use styling tags in HTML, style text in CSS. What style means is color, size, font, things like that. You put all those instructions in the CSS file. So the CSS file is right here where it says .css. And we can talk about that. This is body, so this is styling the body. And we can go over that. CSS formatting. This is the outline for CSS formatting. Like, this is the standard format for CSS. So you have a selector, a property, and a value. The selector points to the HTML element you would like to style. You want to style. The declaration block contains one or more declarations separated by semicolons. Each declaration includes a property name and a value separated by a colon. A CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon, and the declaration groups are surrounded by curly braces. So see right here, you can have one rule of instruction. So you have the selector, which is P, curly bracket, color, which is the property name, and the property value is red, and then you have semicolon, curly bracket. But since we're doing two instructions for paragraph, we separate the two instructions with a semicolon, put text align, colon, center, semicolon, curly bracket. At the end of every declaration, even if you're going to put a curly bracket, you still have to put that semicolon. So the selector, I like to call it the go-getter. The selector means go get P, color it red, and text align it center. So we have three types of selectors. The first type of selector is the element selector. The element selector selects elements based on the element name. You can select all P elements on a page like this. In this case, all P elements will be center aligned with a red text color. So P, text align center, color red. Like, this is how we format it on the CSS page. You put P, curly bracket, and then you put the instructions in the middle and curly bracket at the bottom. The element selector selects the elements based on the element name. You can select all P elements on a page like this, and all P elements will be center aligned with text color red. So I'm going to do an example of that. So for example, we see that H1 has a font family of Merriweather. Serif is just another default font, which you can really delete. So it's a font family of Merriweather and a font size of 32 pixels. So where's H1? H1 up here. So I want to make it 20 pixels. Too small. 50 pixels. Too big. Let's do 35 pixels. We're good. I want to add a color. Well, first we got the semicolon up there. So I want to add a color colon of red. Okay. So now I want to style a paragraph. There's no paragraphs out here. So paragraph, curly bracket. I want to just do what we set up there. Text align center, color blue. Okay. Notice how this only does it for the paragraphs. It doesn't do it for the list items. We can style the list items. The list item is another element, which is, I'm just going to say color purple. Yeah. Azul. Let's do that. Can you see it? Green, like $1 million. Yep. Okay, checking for questions. Okay, I was trying to answer the image question. I missed the image question. Because it says message retracted. So I can't see what it says. I was trying to, but it wouldn't let me post the HTML I used. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what the image question. Can you edit the shape of the boxes? So what box? Oh, what box? These boxes aren't supposed to be there. They're just like selectors. So, but if you can let me know what boxes, I might not know what you're talking about. You can edit the shape of the photo and we'll get to that. No. I'm confused about what you mean in the box. Can you make the paragraphs different colors? Yes. We will talk about that. So that was the element selector. So someone asked, can we make the paragraphs different colors? Yes, we can. So we can go to that. We have an ID selector. The ID selector uses the ID attribute of an HTML element, and I'm answering the question about the different colors. So no worries. A specific element. An ID should be unique within a page. So the ID selector is used if you want to select a single unique element. To select an element with a specific ID, write a hash character followed by the ID of element. This style rule below applied to the element of ID para. So you can only use an ID once within a text. You want to use it if you're making something bold or italics. That's the only time you're going to use it. If you're going to need it over and over again, that rule over and over, you don't want to use the ID. But let's use ID for changing the paragraph colors. So we have two different paragraphs, and we centered them, and it's cascading style sheets. So what that means is the lowest, if I'm correct, the lowest rule overrides. So we have the paragraph, text align center, color blue. So I'm gonna go back to this CSS. So we have to make up an ID, right? And then we're gonna put it in the body of the HTML, and I'll show you that. So I'm going to make up an ID of para 1. I'm going to remember, I got to put the hashtag in here so it knows the ID. Para 1, I'm going to give it a color of orange, right? But if I have para 1 orange, like everything is still blue. So I have to go back into our index.html and give something that I want to change the ID. So I'm going to go to one of the paragraphs. I've got a lot in here right now. So I'm going to go to one of the paragraphs, the first paragraph, P ID equals para 1. You want to make your ID name something descriptive that you understand, that you know what it means. So para 1, it just means paragraph 1. And I put that in the tag of the P element to let the CSS know that wherever I put this para 1, then they need to change that. So look, one is orange and one is blue. Now I have all paragraphs to be blue, but I put a new line for para 1 to be orange. That's because whatever is on the bottom overrides. But this only overrides for where I put the ID of para 1. So it only override for this one. The boxes I colored in the $1 Million Looks. Like the dots. Yes, you can change those shapes. That's what you mean. The boxes, those are just that were showing up. Those are just like It's just showing where I was highlighting stuff. So those boxes aren't supposed to be there. It was just like showing that I was highlighting that in the CSS. They're not really there. I don't know, go away. So if I click on this HTML, they go away because they're not really there. Okay, any other questions? Let me know. Okay, where are we at? So we have the ID, but like we said, the ID can only be used once. But we can use a class selector that we can use several times. So class, instead of the hashtag, what is it? Instead of the hashtag, we have the dot. So the class selector selects elements with a specific class attribute. To select elements with a specific class, write a period character followed by the name of the class. In the example below, all HTML elements with class equals center will be red and center aligned. So we have CSS.center, text align center, color red. So we have to put the P class equals center. Instead of ID, we have to put class, and we have to use that. Put it in the HTML. So what I'm going to do to show how you use it multiple times, I'm going to style our list items. So with different colors. So I'm going to do dot list item. Make it easier for me. And then color blue. And then I'm going to put in our index.html, I'm going to put, I'm just only going to style some of them like every other one. So I'm going to do class equals list item. And then I can use this over and over again since it's a class. And so I'm just putting class list item as every other one because I'm petty. I'm not petty at all. But see, I can use that over and over again if I want to alternate. And we can see what it looks like right here. We can see that each LI has a class of list item. And then I'll go back to the CSS. I just had dot list item, curly bracket, which you really want to put down here. No, I'm sorry, put up there. Color, semicolon, colon, curly bracket. Okay. Any questions? Let me know. Okay, so color types. With CSS, a color is most often specified by a hex value. So you see I've been writing in the name of the colors. That's not how they usually do it. So a hex value is like use this hashtag and then a 6-digit number. So I go to color codes. I can find my color I want. HTML color codes. And we just kind of move around till you find your color. You copy that and then you use it in your thing. Another way to do it, because I do a lot of web stuff and they'll be like, I want this color off this website. I have a Google Chrome plugin where I can put this dropper and it's pick color from page and say I want this exact color right here. I don't know the color code. I just pick it. Color is copied to the clipboard and I can paste it into my thing. So I can go here and this color orange, instead of orange, I can go whatever that number is. And let's see. It changes it to that color. Color declaration. So the H1 text align center, instead of color name, we put the color number. So I said that. How to find color codes you need. We did that. I'm just moving slower because there's a delay, and in case questions, I want to make sure to catch them. Fonts. Font property. Remember this. So P, color, text align center, selector. Select your property value. So font family property. The font family property should hold several font names as backups to the system. So remember when it had like, it had style.css, go up here, had Merriweather, then serif. Serif is the backup, just in case like the browser doesn't know what Merriweather is. So instead of it not showing up on the screen, you have a backup. My smiling face. Start with the font you want and with a generic family to let the browser pick a font in the generic family if no other fonts are family. So you have font family Times New Roman. Times is like a general, and then serif is like super general. You can look up font properties on google.com/fonts. So you can look up fonts here. Google Fonts. Fonts.google.com. These are the web-friendly fonts. So say I want to add Rule Away into my Majigger. Select this font, go here. We have to embed fonts. So we embed fonts into, we just copy this and put it in our HTML in the header. Like stuff like this goes in the header. So head, see they had, this links it to the style sheet. This is a link that links this HTML to the style sheet. If we deleted it, it wouldn't be there. So now I have a railway font in here. So I'm going to change my header to railway, Merriweather. Okay, and back slower. What I did, I copied this into my browser. I went here and copied this link into the head of my HTML. Then I went into my CSS and used Railway. Pause a little bit. Okay. Are we still with me? Are we still here? Yes, no, yes. 20 watching. We lost one. Okay. So, or maybe we didn't. I don't remember. So input number is CSS. So font weight. So font weight property specifies the weight of the font. It's only used for bold or not bold. So if we want something to be bold, we do font weight bold. So I'm just Copying. I want my H1s to be bold. Font weight bold. It didn't even work. That's bold. I guess. Let's try again somewhere else. P, let's do font weight bold here. Here we go. You can see the difference. Font weight bold. So font size. So the absolute size sets the text to specified size. Sound like I've been drinking, and I ain't even been drinking yet. Does not allow a user to change the text in all browsers. It's bad for accessibility reasons. So absolute size is useful when the physical size of the output is known, which basically means don't use absolute size, because absolute size means that size is going to be the same on the desktop, on a reader, or on your phone. And like, if it's same as what it is on the desktop, it's just going to be annoying. So relative size sets the size relative to the surrounding elements. It allows the user to change the text size in browsers. If you do not specify the font size, the default size for normal text is like paragraphs. 16px equals 1 em. So like, you know, in Word, you got 16 pixels. So like 16 pixels equals 1 em. So H1 has a font size of 40px. That is absolute size. We probably don't want to do that. And then we have em. So em is the current font size. 1 em is equal to the current font size. The default text size in browsers is 16px. So the default size of 1 em is 16px. The size can be calculated from pixels to em using this formula. Pixels over 16 em. You don't really have to worry about that. I just like trial and error with stuff. So let's go on this style. We can see up here that our body was set to 18px. So that's our body text right here, set to 18px is the standard. So that's like kind of what the paragraph is. Let's see what it looks like on here. It's pretty much the same. So you click this to see what it'll look like on mobile. That's the font size, font family for the body. So the H1 is set to 35px, color red. What was the paragraph set to? Paragraph was set to nothing, which means it's just probably 18px. Another way you could do it is H1 be, instead of font size 18px, it could be 3 em. Let's see what 3 em looks like. Or it could be 2.5 em. So it's 2.5 times the size of the body text. So whatever the body text is 2.5 times that. And I know CSS where we start to get lost. So if you have questions, cool. And we're done. We're almost done. So we are done with our CSS lessons. So what did we think of that so far? We can talk about that. So of course, I know like a lot of people, I have these classes and a lot of people ask me what's next. So I want to talk about what's next. And if we stay on, we can learn about, and put all your questions in there. If we stay on, you can learn about the opportunity for me to give you a one-on-one lesson. But I have free lessons online too. So most of you probably check those out and I'll send those to you. So I want to talk about how to continue learning. If you thought this was pretty cool, this is like super introductory. We blew past this really fast this evening. And there's a lot more you probably want to learn so you can make websites that look like something besides like, you know, this. But it's kind of cool, right? You made something, but you want to make something that looks better than that, right? So I'm not 100% sure why you showed up today, but I have a guess. And you can let me know why you showed up, how you heard about it. You can put that in the chat for me. So let me know. You may have want to learn about coding, but you didn't know where to start, or you're thinking about a career change and you heard learning to code could be a lucrative option. Anybody hear those? So I gave you the intro to front-end development, and I talked about that earlier. Front-end development is what you see on the front of your website. So do you want to learn more front-end development? So I want you to present to you 2 learning options, and I walk you through both of those learning options. And so you have a do-it-yourself method, which a lot of people are do-it-yourselfers. And then you have a guided learning method. And I'll talk to you about both of those. So did you know most of these days, most developers lack university training in coding. So most developers teach themselves or have a mentor, or they do online tutorials. So there's a do-it-yourself method. Choose a learning platform, get a reference book, and find a mentor. These are the steps to learn on your own. You can even check out my blog, stemgirlacademy.com, how to learn for free. And I'll pull up that blog because it was pretty good. I mean, I did pretty good at writing this blog. No, I'm just playing. So you can go here, where to learn to code for free. And these are my favorite places to learn to code for free. So you have codecademy.com as the standard. You can take the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript class on there. There's freecodecamp.com. This is one of my favorite books. You can get it for free, PDF, Eloquent JavaScript. Code Combat is like a game. It's for kids, but you know, if you like to play games, this is still cool. So these are some of the things. You want to use Codecademy, Free Code Camp along with a book. You need both. You can't do both one at a time. And you want to make sure that you're doing something that gives you projects. So like Free Code Camp has projects. So do-it-yourself involves a lot of individual research, determining best practices, trial and error. You have to find a mentor, things like that. I showed you my blog. You can check that out. Can you do the font change again? Yes, I will go back to that. I'll absolutely go back to that. So the guided learning method. So the guided learning method is coding boot camps and online courses. So I went through a coding boot camp after I taught myself for a little while. They're definitely very helpful, and they kind of help you keep you accountable. So, and then there's online courses, which, I mean, you take at your own space. Sometimes it's kind of hard to be accountable because nobody's telling you have to do this at this date. So I came up with a solution for a lot of the people who are asking me what's next after these classes. I call it the blended boot camp. So it's like part online course and part coding boot camp. So I call it Earn What You Deserve, Learn to Code. Maybe you're just interested in this as a hobby, but maybe you want to enter a new career. You just learn everything you need to know to master the foundations of web design. And it's made for women, taught by women. Most people in these classes or to teach these classes are men. And I just wanted to have an option where women felt comfortable and it was designed just for us. So what are the features of the course? So we have weekly video lessons and weekly online office hours. So video lessons are like this. This is me working through stuff, working through problems. And then office hours are me just like answering questions. Like you just send me questions and I will go through the answers and work them out with you, like questions from the emails. So you'll have both of those for you. These video lessons are for your convenience. You watch them when you can during the week. You can rewind, go back. The weekly office hours are me or my assistant going through and working through problems. So you have a group chat to interact with fellow students. You have status updates from your instructor, and you have hands-on projects. So the hands-on projects are really important because you'll be able to have a portfolio when you finish in case you want to do freelance or you want to find a job in the field. You can have something to show about what you've done. Of course, a certificate of completion. So benefits of the course. So you learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I've talked about HTML, I've talked about CSS, I haven't talked about JavaScript. You need to know HTML HTML and CSS before you dive into JavaScript. JavaScript is what makes web pages interactive and what makes them move, so what gives things functionality. A lot of different websites are built with JavaScript, and JavaScript is one of the highest paid entry-level developer positions. So I'll go to my other blog. And I talk about in this blog why learning JavaScript is a good idea, and I can send that to you. I switched over to my site, so I redid my site. Why you want accountability, why women should learn JavaScript. So some of the reasons you should learn JavaScript are here, and I put career opportunities. So like if you live somewhere like New York, there are 3,600 open jobs in JavaScript, more than other areas. Like Python has more in New York and Silicon Valley, but everywhere else, JavaScript kind of rules. Detroit has much less people, so there are less openings, but there's still not enough people. There's not even 600 people to fill up these openings. Chicago, a lot of openings here. So JavaScript has seen large adoption from companies like LinkedIn, Google, Netflix. They not only decide to use JavaScript, but to rewrite their entire applications use it. If more companies are using it, demand is increasing. If demand increasing, job opportunities open. So here are some salary, like the average nationwide starting salary for a JavaScript developer with about 1 year of learning experience, 6 months to 1 year, depending on how much you study, is $68,000. That's nationwide. So the median salary overall is $110,000. So you can make doctor money after 3 or 4 years without having a degree in this field. So starting salary in New York, 68. Chicago, there was no starting salary for Detroit. Median salary here. So honestly, you get the best bang for your buck in Chicago. You get the highest salaries per cost of living for JavaScript developers in Chicago. So anybody in Chicago, you're doing pretty well there. So the benefits, like I said, you have a portfolio at the end, soft skills lesson bonus. So I interviewed a whole bunch of people who are hiring developers, and I asked them what were people lacking, and they said they were lacking soft skills and presentation skills. So we will learn how to present our code, talk about our code, and communicate effectively so we can get these jobs or be an effective freelancer. And also you will learn the process to teach yourself any coding language you want. So it's most important, like I can't teach you everything you need to know in this course, but what's most important is that you learn how to learn. And so what I want this course to do is that you learn how to learn this language so you can learn any other language or just dive deeper in the language and further your learning. So here's what the course looks like. Let me see, do I have it pulled up? That's my website. That's what the course looks like on the inside. So this is my online school, 12-week accountability course. We go here and let me see. This is like a preview of the curriculum. It's all not uploaded yet, but we have HTML5, HTML, CSS, and it keeps going. CSS first, deeper into CSS. So let me see. So this is how it looks on the inside, and I have a video and then like notes in here. So this is, we've already done this. You already know how to do that now, but this is like how the course looks. So how much does this course cost? 12 weeks of lessons are valued at $3,500. And I just looked at like other courses and other boot camps and how much I paid for a boot camp. Accountability group is really, really important. So you're going on this journey with other people who are going through this journey as well. And the soft skills bonus, just a workshop to help you through. So those add up to $47,000. So we're going to sell this course for $1,200 because $47,000, I just didn't feel like, I wanted to be more accessible to more people, and I didn't want anybody to have to come up with $47,000. 1,200 immediately. So we want to do it at 1,200 so it's accessible. A lot of people can access it. But for the people on my list, new people, this go round, we're going to price it at $600. So we're going to do another round in February. But if you get in now, it's priced at $600. And so I said I had a special one-on-one learning bonus. So if you do this by noon, my raw slides here, but by noon, if you register, you can get a free hour individual session with me. So it's not a group chat, group hour. We will Google Hangout. I will share my screen. I can see your screen. I can see your face. So you get a free whole hour with me to ask any question you want if you register by noon tomorrow. So you want to go to stemgirl.teachable.com and make sure to choose the Women's 12-Week Bootcamp up here. And I know somebody had a question. I'm going to get back to answering your question. So please hold with me. So go to stemgirl.teachable.com, go to the 12-Week Bootcamp, and you can sign up there. And that's all I have. Any more questions? Let me go back here. Can I do the font change again? Yes. Are you still with me? Let's see. So 16 watching. So font change. So, okay. So I went and found a font. Let me just start all over. I found a font, Railway. Let's do Lotto. Sure. Or whatever. I'm going to click on that font selected. I can go in here and it says embed that font. So I'm going to copy. It's going to embed both these fonts for me. I'm going to copy this, go into my index.html, and I'm going to paste it. So it embedded both of those fonts for me. So now I can call on them. So I'm going to go to style.css. And we're H1 1/2 font family Railway. I'm going to change it to, what did I just embed there? This is crazy. So I have Montserrat. So I'm going to go change Railway to Montserrat and see what it looks like. For the H1, it changed. But I want to change the paragraph too. So I'm going to do font family Montserrat. Let's see what happened. Changed it. So I hope that wasn't too fast. Okay. Yay. So if you have any questions, you can email me at aishajw@gmail.com. If you really, really enjoyed the class, like I said, this class is usually $35 and I offered it for free. If you could do me a huge favor and you could give a testimonial of this class, you can email me a testimonial or you can leave me a LinkedIn recommendation about my teaching. That would be so, so great. So thank you so much and good night. I think we're finished. I'm going to email everything that we had. And if you are interested in the course, I really, really would love to see you. So there's the information there. Okay, we good? Any questions? I'm going to wait like 2 minutes before I sign off. Yay, I'm glad you loved it. Okay, let me show my face. Okay. That was awesome. I'm glad you loved it. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And please, please, please leave me a recommendation, or if you liked it, leave a testimonial, email it to me. I really, really appreciate you showing up. Thank you. Good night. Good night. Yay, thanks for coming, Empress. Appreciate you all so much. Like, women have asked for this, so I decided to do it. I'm going to stop the broadcast now, okay? But I'll keep the chat open.